Hi, and good afternoon, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home, the mighty Tottenham Hotspur, the past, the present, and a very, very exciting future. Even Philip's really excited. He's there, he's jumping up and down, he's knee sliding all morning, he keeps punching holes in the wall. He's Mrs. Brady's quickly as she's filling in one hole. Philip punches another hole. He's so excited about the North London derby. He's pumped up already. He's like Don King on steroids. That's Philip like today. Anyway, Philip, how are you?
I don't know how to say how to follow that now. Yeah, good. Yeah, still basking in the afterglow of Saturday. Still. But now that's the past. Now next Sunday is what's more important.
Yeah, it definitely is Don King on steroids. I'm sorry, Philip. I couldn't. I just came into my head. It just sounded funny.
Don't worry, I'll get you back later on.
Well, it's better than being called the Irish Tom Jones, I suppose. So, look, you can take your pick.
Marginally.
Anyway, and also joining us on today's show, of course, which is being jointly broadcast with our partner channel, Full Time Sports Network, also on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, is, of course, the one and only, a very sad and a very depressed and a very low Manchester United fan. So everyone, please show him some love and just show him that we care about how he feels. Colin, how are you? Look, it's okay. It's all right. You don't have to be scared anymore. You can come out and say you're a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
Definitely not. I'm still a United fan through and through. Thank you very much. But no, I'm good. Thank you. Man United aren't playing, so I'm in a decent mood.
Just a very quick question before we get in with the show. I was watching Talk Sport today when I was putting the show together, and there was a question: are Manchester United still a big brand in world football? And it got me thinking, and I knew you were coming on, Colin. I'll get to you in a minute, but Philip, are Man United still a big brand, say bigger than Real Madrid?
United are a big brand. They're a huge brand. They always have been. Well, since the 60s anyway. They're a huge brand. Now, are they bigger than Real Madrid? I think Real Madrid just about edge it. They've won more Champions League than Man United, but Man United are a big brand. I mean, look at their the support base. I mean, it's worldwide. It's massive worldwide. So they are a huge brand, and I'm sure a lot of them, like Colin, are just not in the best of form at the moment. The way things are going at their club, and they'll hope that things are going to have an upturn sooner rather than later. But you look, you're lucky, Colin. You've got Bayern Munich away on Wednesday. We're not playing on Wednesday or Thursday this year. That's a bit of a sickener for Spurs fans, but at least you've got the Champions League to look forward to. Now, whether you'll be looking back on it on Wednesday night saying, how the hell did we get into that competition after that result? But we'll have to wait and see. I actually think you'll do well against Bayern Munich because they are not firing like they should be.
There is breaking news in that, Philip. Man United have officially asked UEFA, can they leave the competition and put Tottenham in instead? So that's right. The breaking news.
Yeah, I also heard they're going to bring back Matt Busby back as manager.
And Alex Ferguson as his
assistant. Makes about as much sense of what you have to say anyway.
It does, yeah. You know me. But Colin, look, very quick question before we get to the chat and get on with the show and bask in everything that is the glory Tottenham Hotspur. Are United still a bigger brand than, say, Real Madrid?
I think Real Madrid are probably slightly bigger at the moment because of all the issues going on in United. But, United are still one of the biggest brands in world football, especially bigger than the noisy neighbours that we have, who like to think that football revolves around them and not the other way around. But yeah, I mean, once we get back to winning everything, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it won't be anytime soon, believe me. Big up to Wembley one. He says, afternoon, boys. As exciting as the comeback was on Saturday, should we be concerned about how much we've struggled to open up a low block team such as Sheffield United? We're going to get onto that in a minute, Wembley one. We've got Carl Simpson, big up Carl. He says, good afternoon, gents. I hope you're all well. Yeah, we're grand. I'm grand. Philip's honky-dory. It's poor Colin we need to look after. We just need to show him some love and some care. Just put our big arms around them, tell them, come to Tottenham. All is forgiven. This one's for you, Philip. Go on.
Oh
Get
dear.
get going. Get your vocal
My
cords
voice is
going.
gone, though. My voice is gone. Anyway, I'll give it a low-key version. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well and having a good day. Yeah, absolutely, Wayne. Having a good day. Even though
And
it's
then
Monday.
Even though it's Monday, and Carl says, yes, Man United is still a massive brand, just crap at football at the moment. Sorry, Colin, he says, with a laughy emoji.
Well, he's not wrong.
Can't disagree with it, I suppose.
Yeah, just a quick question, Colin. Would you fancy the Glazers still being in charge or Yogi Bear and Boo Boo?
I think I'll take Yogi Bear and Boo Boo.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
Now, let's get on with this, Philip. Look, we've got the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium course on Saturday. 61,706 were there at White Hart Lane to see us beat Sheffield United 2-1 with Charlton and Kulu in the 98th and 100th minute of the game, Philip. But Sheffield United took a shock lead after 73 minutes. And, of course, McBurn was sent off in injury time as well. Just to go on what Wembley One was saying about a low block side, did we struggle, Philip, with the low block side? Or do you think it was... Are we still struggling how to break low block sides down?
Okay, we didn't score. We scored 2 goals late on, okay? But during the game, we did, I think it was 10 shots on target. We had 2 goals disallowed. We had a blatant penalty not given to us. So, no, I think we're not quite there yet with low block, but we're an awful lot better than we were last season, a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
We're creating the chances, we're getting in behind it. It's more by maybe the shooting wasn't just accurate enough or far away from the goalkeeper to score, but we could have easily scored 5 or 6 on Saturday there. So, well, it's not quite there yet, but we're getting there. And I think I'll tell you what I like most about that entire game on Saturday was the second goal. If you watch that second goal, there are at least 5 players involved in 1- and 2-touch passing to get the ball to Richarlison. In the 100th minute of a match, to come up with that type of a move to break down a low block was brilliant. It really was.
Do you think Ange's substitutions, Philip, were spot on again?
Absolutely. We were calling out for them a little bit earlier when we went behind. Well, no, we did. He made the substitutions around the time we went behind.
Yeah.
So no, he was spot on. And in fact, even the 2 that came on late on to bolster up the defense did a good job. So his substitutions were so excellent. I mean, that's the thing we've criticized previous managers for and Pochettino will probably be the biggest culprit there of making irrelevant substitutions at the wrong time in the match. But Ange did it exactly right on Saturday.
And Colin, look, as bad as United are playing, right, and as good as we're playing, are Tottenham sort of a joy to watch again? Are they for you the surprise package of the Premier League so far?
No, I don't think you are a surprise package because you're a big team anyway, so I think how you're playing is how you're expected to play now. It's night and day. It's completely night and day from last season under, Conte. And I think it's becoming the best. Ange's getting all the best out of all your players. And it is really, really good to see nice, free-flowing, attacking football again. Because, I mean, I'm sorry to swear in channel, but obviously Poch was very similar. He had a very good, nice, free-flowing attack there. And it's good to see it back at Tottenham.
It is, Philip. Well, look, there was 2-1. The good result and a big crowd there, of course, at the game. This was the team: Vicario, Romero, Van de Ven, Porro, Destiny, Papasar, Basuma, James Maddison, Kulu, Solomon, and Son. Philip, do you want to give me your match numbers for each player?
Well, do you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to give the crowd a score because I think the crowd on Saturday, who stayed forever after the match. I've never seen the ground was full 10 minutes after a match. I've given the Spurs supporters 10 out of 10 for what they did on Saturday. Now, as for the team, Vicario, he had 1 save to make, I think, in this first half. So he got 7, didn't have a lot to do. Romero and Van de Ven, give them 8. I'll give the entire defence an 8. And the Doji, I want to make a special mention to Doji. The way he stepped in to intercept the ball as Sheffield United were playing it out for the second goal. Again, the energy that he showed there to intercept that pass and give it out to Perisic, who passed it on, and they know the end result.
Yeah.
So well done. Papa Sarr, I just love this guy. He's like a walking beanpole, but what a player. He's got energy to burn. Really, really good game. And I give him an 8 as well. Basuma, turning into the midfielder of the season for any club, that guy is. He's a defensive midfielder. Brilliant. James Maddison should have had a penalty. Got booked for going like that to the referee afterwards, which is totally ridiculous. He was the orchestra conductor. You know, you can see him spraying the passes around. 8 as well. Kulichevsky is one of the top crossing stats in the Premiership for this season so far, which is quite surprising. Now,
wasn't it, Philip, that he's covered the most miles in anyone in the Premier League? Yeah.
The most ground. I'll give him an 8 as well. Manor Solomon, he's turning into one hell of a free transfer. I love his low center of gravity, the way he runs across the pitch there. Nobody can touch him. So I'll give him an 8. Son probably didn't have his best game. You know, he was of all the forwards, he was probably the least prominent. So I'll give him a 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then as for the substitutes, well, they all did very well. But for me, Richarlison, Brendan Johnson looked very good. I still don't think he was offside for that goal if they'd shown the bother to show the lines. Richarlison, what can you say about the guy? Mental problems or not, he has helped himself immensely by scoring that goal. Emerson Royale didn't do a lot. Perisic, brilliant corner for the goal. Absolutely brilliant. I was also involved in the move for the second goal. And Højbjerg, again, heavily involved in the move for the second goal as well. So I'll give them all 8s. I mean, it was I'll give Richarlison a 9. So maybe I'm being a bit conservative on those scores, but I think it was all round. There wasn't a weak link in that whole team.
No. As you can see going across the bottom, there is some Premier League breaking news. So I'm going to take that off. Guys, this was just sent to me. So let me just get it up now. This is to do with Manchester United and the sale of Manchester United. Now, this was sent to me. The Glazers are delaying the sale again. However, Sir Alex is said to be having a meal with the Qatari team this week and wants to help them in this takeover bid. Before I get to you on this, Philip, because Colum's a United fan, Colum, what do you think to this breaking news? I mean, it's just broken it was given to me in the last few seconds. It's not what you want to hear, but if Fergie's getting behind the Qatar bid, surely that will push it over the line.
Well, I think if Fergie's getting behind the Qatar bid, then, you know, it's the end of days for the Glazers, because Fergie's got a lot more respect from United fans. And if he thinks that this is right, then obviously a lot of the United fans are going to follow suit and back him with it. Hopefully it does help with this takeover going through, because I don't even know how long this is going on for now. And all the Glazers are doing is just pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. I know exactly why they're doing it. It's because they want to see if we're going to be successful this season so they can stay. But yeah, hopefully this does happen and it comes to a resolution very quickly.
Philip, what's your thoughts on this? Look, the Glazers, of course, delaying the sale. Do you think with Fergie getting behind the Qatari bid that, as Colum says, it is now bound to go through?
No, I don't think so. Do you know? I mean, I'm being very dogmatic about this and maybe pessimistic. If Alex Ferguson comes down heavily on the side of the Qataris, right, he's creating a rift between himself and the Glazers. Right now, are the Glazers going to do something stupid and ban Alex Ferguson from coming to the ground because of his support for the Glazers? If that happens, that means it's going to make things even worse for the Glazers, because the fans are obviously going to support what Sir Alex does. So on a positive side of thing, if the fans really get behind the Alex Ferguson involvement, then yes, the Glazers, public opinion might mean the Glazers have to go. But they're so tricky at the moment. So I just don't know what can happen here. It could go either way, but I hope it goes the way of a sale, because I think United deserve it during those two clowns or three clowns for the last 15 years.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll keep you up to date on that. But that is the latest Premier League breaking news. The Glazers are delaying the sale again. However, Sir Alex Ferguson is said to be having a meal with the Qatari team this week and wants to help them with in this takeover bid. This story will run and run and run, I think, for a while yet. So, look, it is what it is. But look, let's get back to Tottenham. These are my numbers for the Spurs team. I agree with you, Philip. I think from the goal, one save from Vicario, he gets a 9 for me for the save he made with his legs.
Yeah,
Now,
I think if that had gone in, though, that may have been offside. I think he may have been offside, but we'll never know.
But how many times have you said to me, Philip, he reminds you of Pat Jennings? And how many goals did Pat Jennings save with his legs or his feet? So for me,
a lovely picture was taken after the match. The picture of himself and Jennings together as well.
Yeah.
Lovely
picture, I'm sure Pat Jennings enjoyed that. I'm sure he's looking at him thinking, here's a younger version of me. For me, he gets a 9. I think the whole defense gets 8.5 for me. It's becoming a proper unit, Philip, for the first time in a long while.
It is.
And I think the partnership between Romero and Van de Ven is like what we had for Jan and Toby. And I think Porro is improving. Destiny as well. He goes up and down that wing like a bullet train. For me, Papasar gets 8. Basuma gets 9. For me, he bossed that midfield. For me, he bossed it again. Man of the match for me. I don't know where this Basuma was last season. It's really remarkable how he's changed from the player he was under Conte under the player he is now under Postecoglou. It's like
he's playing in the right position. That's why.
Yeah, but he's also been given the freedom to express himself, Philip, and I think that's as well. James Maddison, 8.5 again. Outstanding. Kulu, 8. Solomon, I'll give him an 8. Son, I'm going to give a 7. I wasn't that impressed with Sonny. For whatever reason, look, he's putting the work in, but it's just not clicking for him. So that's my thought on the 11, and then on the substitutes. Brennan Johnson, I give him an 8. Absolutely, that goal should have been a goal. That was not offside, Philip. With Charleston, I'm going to give him a 10 for everything that he's been put through. For everything, and I'm the first to admit it. I've been giving some dogs of abuse on here, Philip. You know I have, saying he's a waste of money. Look, I'm big enough and ugly enough to hold my hands up and say, look, I was wrong. Took his goal brilliantly and laid on as well. So he gets 10 out of 10 for me. Royale, give him a 7. Perisic a 7 and Højbjerg a 7 as well. Do you want to give a team rating there, Colin, for Tottenham on Saturday, if you fancy? Or
yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, I mean, Vicario for me, I rate goalkeepers quite a lot. I'm a goalkeeper myself. And for the concentration he had, because he didn't really have a lot to do for him throughout the whole game. So for that save, it's a big save, because like I say, he's not had much to do. And that's one of the hardest things to do when you're not in the game as much, is to keep your concentration. So I'll give Vicario an 8. Romero and Van de Ven, probably 2 of the strongest centre backs, in the league this season so far. I think, 8, probably 8s for both of them as well. Porro, solid again. I think it's all pretty much all going to be like 8s or so. Basuma was my man of the match as well. I'm going to give Basuma a 9 for that, because I think, honestly, if he keeps playing the way he does, you got to sign him down to a massive, massive long-term contract, because somebody will be sniffing around him 100%. I'll give 8s to rest at midfield. I'm kind of agree with Son. Son doesn't look comfortable at all playing as that striker role. I'm not sure whether he's trying to play how Harry Kane played or not. But Son just needs to play his game. He doesn't need to play anybody else's. Just play his game, and he'll be fine. And then your subs.
So bring them up there. There you go.
No worries. Johnson, he's an exciting player. Johnson. I think he'll do well. I'll give him an 8. I'll give Richarlison a 9 as well. A lot of things he's gone through for him to actually get his goal. I think that'll lift a little bit of weight off of his shoulders, because he has been looking like he's got the whole world on his shoulders. So that might free him up, hopefully. And I think the rest of them as well, I'd give the rest of them probably a 7.
Yeah, I would agree with you there as well. Look, guys, we've got a few people in the group. We've got Ollie as well. Big up Ollie, says Basuma is the king of the perch. Yeah, he is. We've got Grace saying that Conte told Basuma how to play. Ange told Basuma to play. Which is true, Philip, isn't it? That is spot on. Big up to Colin Turner as well. So good afternoon, gentlemen. We've got Greg saying that. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. Impressed by our resolve against Sheffield United. Some previous teams over the last few years would have down tools.
Yeah, last season's team would have.
Philip, is that the difference between a Conte type manager to an Ange type manager? Where
I think,
do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, the difference is the players are playing. I think these guys would go into battle for Ange. I don't think they would have done for Conte, because Conte did not show them, didn't play the football the players are used to playing, and seemed to have a very autocratic ruling way of getting out of dealing with the players, which didn't go down very well. Whereas Ange is a lot more with the lads. But one thing I just want to mention, but just to go back to the team, and it hasn't really been mentioned once before, is the turn that Pedro Porro did in the first half.
Yeah.
If you watch back for that, he left the Sheffield United players still sliding across the pitch at this stage. It was unbelievable what that guy did with that turn, but that was just brilliant. And also, one other thing I should just say, Vicario's ex-former team, Empoli, got hit for 7 by Roma at the weekend. So I bet he's glad he's left them.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, I bet he has. And Colin Turner says, when the team sits deep, it's hard for Son.
Yeah,
would you agree with that? Would you agree with that, Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Son's best thing is picking up the ball and running. How many times have we seen Son pick up that ball and just burst down that wing, cut inside, and stick it in back at net? I think when he hasn't got that space to do that, when they are sat deep, and they're making it very, very tough for him to find that bit of space, then you're not going to get the best out of him.
Yeah,
I think Son is going to score more goals away from home this season than at home, because away from home he's going to get more space.
Colin Turner says players on the ranch are told to go out and play and enjoy yourselves and have fun. That is true. As Philip is looking for Conte, is about to.
No, it's after the poor rain here.
Well, there you go. Yeah. There you go. We just had it here in Wexford. It's lovely and sunny. We've got Mia saying, "Hey."
Hi, Mia.
Big up, Mia. Or was that a hey? It was a hey. Hey, oh, he. Whatever, Mia. But big up, Mia. Everyone, please go over to Spurs Between the Lines. If not, give your hair a wobble while you're doing it as well. Wobble your head as you're hitting the herd subscription button. See if you do hit the button. Just keep wobbling your head. I'm sure Mia would really appreciate it. And also, please hit like button here. Also on Full Time Sports Network. Also follow us on Facebook as Daniel Levy.
One of my calls coming in now. So
yeah, as Daniel Levy calls Philip there. I'll take you out, Philip. There you go. Colin, look, we had the refs and the referees on Saturday. Now, we could talk about the United game. We could talk about the Tottenham game. Referee and stand. Do you think VAR is worse this season than it was last season?
I think VAR is getting worse and worse every single season, to be honest with you. I was having this discussion with Bobby over on our channel before we went live. And it's so confusing. Like, the lines that they draw for the offside decisions, the angles that they have, it's like, how can you actually make a proper judgment call when your angle is 5 foot behind them on a 75-degree angle? It doesn't make sense. They need to do something, because the inconsistencies throughout all matches, not just the ones obviously for you guys at the weekend or for United or whoever else, the inconsistencies are just destroying
Yeah.
football game completely. And Howard Webb, I know he's trying to do his best, but you know, something needs to change. It needs to change fast. I'd rather just got rid of VAR.
Yeah, I do. Would you rather if they went back to the old days, where the referee made the decision and it stopped there, and then you go to the pub afterwards and have a debate about it, or do you know, is it too much? It's VAR trying to be the referee to stop the referee being the referee on the pitch. If you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, yeah, I do know what you're getting at. I think VAR is trying to referee the game, which it's not. That's not what it's there for. It's there for clear and obvious error, and that is it. You know, so I think they need to step back. Like back in the day before VAR happened, you know, if a goal was scored where it was marginally offside, you was like, oh God, it's offside.
Mhm.
How have they let it go? But you know, you got over it. Whereas now with VAR, they're showing everything. It's like it's causing more problems than what it was when we didn't have it.
Yeah. And Carl Simpson says, ref and VAR are dreadful. We should have the 2 goals and the penalty in Sheffield United. Should have had red cards. Now, look, let's go through it very quickly. The VAR check at your game was correct, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's fine. Was there now? If you go to Tottenham, firstly, should the keeper been sent off, the Sheffield United keeper, for handling that? I thought when you handled outside the area, you would. That's an automatic red card.
No,
So,
that's not the case. Now, so it has to be a deliberate denying of a goal scoring opportunity because he was out on that far side. It's not classed as a denying of a goal scoring opportunity. When he went to handle the ball originally, he was in the box, and then obviously his momentum and the ball has gone out of the box. So I think a yellow card is fair for what happened. I think if it was more central and he came out and handled the ball, yes, straight red every single day.
we should have had 2 penalties. Brennan's goal for me should have been kept on. Should have been that was not offside. Where are we going with this, Colin, with VAR? Where do you think it will end? Is technology going to take over football completely? Where we're not going to need a ref, we just leave some fella in the room to sort out, or does there have to be some transparency between the VAR room, the referee, and the fans, so the fans know why the decision they made? You look at American football. They tell the reasons why for the fans. You hear it in rugby. You hear them talking to one another on the television. Do you think that's what we're going to need in football?
Honestly, I wouldn't be against miking refs up so people can hear. I would not mind that at all, because then at least you can hear what they're talking about and what they're going through and everything like that. You know, there is clips out there where you can hear the talking of the ref. It's not during the game, but you know, we can't hear him when we're at the stadium. We can't hear him when we're watching the TV. But there are clips out there that you can hear, and what they are saying whilst they are looking. You know, they do double check, triple check, all this, all that. But it needs to be clear and concise to all the fans. And like I said, the biggest issue with VAR is they're getting involved far too much. Everything gets checked.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's just becoming a joke now.
Right. I don't know if you're getting any of this news, Philip. I've just been sent an article about the naming rights for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm trying to read through it. If I send you the article, can you have a read through that for me? And then you can let me know what you think of that, if that's all right, if you don't mind doing that, while I go through some of the chat. There we go. I've just sent it to you there, Colin.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, good man. And thanks to Carl Simpson for sending that out. Colin Turner says, in my opinion, it's players who get players booked and sent off with constant overreaction. It needs to be stamped out. And it does, Colin. It really does. I mean, how many times have we seen players fall over like they've been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, or just they get topped on, they got pushed in the back and they go fallen over their face like they've been headbutted by Roy Keane. I mean, it does need to be stamped up. You are right. We've got Colton say VAR should be there for goal line technology, and I think you're right. It should be just there for goal line technology only, or maybe offsides at the push. But it's ruining the game. It really is. Mia says, "Yeah, damn right, THFC till I die. I'm a mod, so I can do what I like." Ha 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 ha. Mia's like one of them villains in the Scooby Doo cartoon there, rubbing their hands thinking, yeah, I'm gonna get them damn kids. We've got Grad Sound that referee on Saturday needs stringing up. That's a bit harsh. And you know it's bad when everyone all sides of the neutrals think it's shocking. The match of the day highlights were heavily rejected. I wonder why that was. Yeah, because the referee kept making the cock up every 5 minutes. That article I sent you, column. What's that basically saying? It's about the naming rights, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically about the naming rights. So one of the things here, it says earlier this month, Spurs chairman Levy, along with a number of other board members, met with Spurs supporters to our Tottenham Hotspur fan advisory board meeting. There's not really an update, to be honest with you, on what it is called or anything like that.
No, I think it is coming. There is something brewing, isn't it, on that front? I think.
Yeah. It's saying one of the quotes here is, naming rights deals are complicated, and we only have one opportunity to name the stadium. Getting the term, the fee, and brand partner with all the correct things are difficult.
I think they should just call it the Bill Nicholson Stadium myself. That's my point of view. Just call it. I'll call it White Hart Lane.
They could call it, Toys R Us. It's the thing is, it's all about money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so.
Sadly, it is, Colin. And Colin, you are right. It is bad. We've got Ed M. Ball was travelling away from the goal, so only yellow. Yeah, I sort of get what you and Colin were saying, but for me, you handle it outside the area. End of. We've got Grant saying that, yeah, that was a yellow. That was rightly a yellow, but that's a big stiff. Hello, we've got the man. We have to behave ourselves. We have to behave ourselves now, Colin. Look, he's gone again now. He's back again. Don't press anything, Mr. Brady. Don't touch nothing. That's it. Do that. Graves in the Now you're Grant. Was that Daniel Levy talking about the naming rights to you?
I wish it was.
Well, there's an article about the naming rights that may be coming sooner than we think.
Good.
We've got that was a rightly yellow, but the big stiff idiot should have got another yellow for time wasting numerous times. Yeah, I mean, look, guys. I mean, this was a picture. Where is it now? Hang on, Philip. Can you just take over 2 minutes, please?
Yeah. Let me see. I'll just go down through the chats here. And it's Colin Turner said, I'd like to know if referees actually do their homework. They should have basic understanding of what players do and shouldn't do, and then lay down the law accordingly. Yeah, I mean, that referee on Saturday just seemed to have forgotten the rules. Just seemed to be making it up as we went along. It was the worst refereeing performance I think I've ever seen. And I've seen a few. So, and this one here, what Mia is saying, the biggest issue was the keeper not getting the second yellow for time wasting. He took the total mick. Yeah, at one stage, he went to take off his gloves and he walked over slowly to the sideline, then kind of changed his mind and started putting the gloves back on again and walked back to his goal. I mean, why he wasn't yellow carded for that? That was just total time waste. But again, the referee just did not know what day it was on Saturday.
No, and there he is there having his picnic.
That's it. Yeah. Rumor has it he left the ground at 7:00 last night.
Did he really?
He was still there at 7:00 last night. Yeah.
Wow.
It took him that long to get to the dressing room.
Did he crawl? Or did he crawl there?
No, I think he went via most of the bars in the stadium.
Yeah. We've got Carl Simpson. These new rules, I am starting to think we are going to see a yellow card to a player when they went left instead of right on the pitch. Walk
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
Philip. You said it yourself. He got booked for
For doing
Madison
that.
got
For
booked
doing
for
that.
doing that.
That
Yeah.
that must be classed as dissent now when you do that.
Mm.
Madness.
Yeah, it
Madness.
is classed as dissent now. Anytime you argue with a referee now on one of their decisions is now classed as dissent. Were it McBurney who got sent off?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
went to referee showing that his shirt were getting pulled, and that's why he got the second yellow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Also, we've got Carl Simpson saying this should be called the cock. Oh, for fuck's sake.
it's been a
He
while,
got
Carl.
you.
It's been a while. He got
Clock,
you.
not cock, clock. Oh, fuck off, damn it. You know, just give up. Yeah. Well, how about calling it the THFC Till I Die Arena, Philip? What do you reckon?
Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? They could call it the Cockerel Clock Arena either, you know, if they wanted to.
Yeah, you could do, but I think the THFC Till I Die Arena just has a better ring on it.
Yeah, if you got
We
a spare
should
20 million lying around, you can give it to Daniel Levy. I'm sure he'll agree to give you the name and
Yeah,
rights.
well, I was thinking of giving them £20 column and you, so you two can do your show the guests around the VIP areas. You know, that's what I thought of doing.
That should be good, all right.
Yeah. Also, I was going to say to him, if you are watching, the Glazers love you very much, and they just want to know how you get your head as bald as you do. So they're very interested. So maybe Colin can stick you two together just to go over it. You know how you have your head as lovely and soft as you do.
Unfortunately, there's only one room I'm going to stick the Glazers in, and if I ever get them in it, they're not coming back out.
Is that Mia's dungeon?
No, it's worse.
And throw away the key.
We've got Carl Simpson. Do you want to read that one out, Philip?
Yeah, Fotheringham only didn't get the deck chair out. It was the only thing missing. True enough. I mean, I've never seen a goalkeeper waste as much time. For a man that shouldn't have been on the pitch at all, he was really, really, really treading a very fine line there.
He was. Greg saying that why was one multi-ball incident a drop ball to us, the other drop ball to them when we got the ball twice? I'd like to know what the rules were behind.
Yeah,
that happened twice. That peed you off, Philip, more than it peed me off.
Yeah, he gave the ball back to the wrong team.
Yeah,
he gave the ball back to the wrong team. You know, but then again, that was just another mistake that he made. Another catalogue. I mean, I don't know if he'd come up with a comment that will Peter Banks survive on the Premier list. I don't think he will. He certainly won't ref this weekend anyway.
If he does, would you be? If he does, he get the North London derby. Would you be hiding definitely behind your couch?
They'll never give a referee to you 2 weeks running. That's one thing anyway.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
We've got Ian Ferguson saying, big up Ian Ferguson as well. He says, few players, coaches, etc. I find that if they criticise the refs in the NFL, NBA, etc.
Yeah.
Look, I have no problem in what the Sheffield manager had to say about the refereeing standards on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he said himself he had no problem with the result. He had no problem with what happened. He didn't have a problem even with the time wasting, but he did have a problem with the referee. Do you feel that referees? It's VAR, but I find it hard of a question. But is the refereeing standards dropping because of VAR?
I think refereeing, like, it's difficult. It looks bad for a referee, right? If he doesn't give a decision, right, then VAR looks at it, then gives a decision. So I think they're kind of scared of this happening. You know, like, one thing you'll know, whenever a referee is sent over to the monitor, right, it's usually a penalty. I very rarely see a referee going over and not giving a penalty once he's asked to go and give it. If he hasn't given it on the play, it's a kind of a get out of jail card for him. It's a second attempt to get it right, you know. Refereeing standards are dire. Now, I don't mean to be using a pun there, the word dire, but they are dire. They are extremely poor. There seems to be a whole new batch of lads coming in here that we haven't really heard of before, and they're not as yet up to the grade. They're not. They're League One, League Two standard at best. Apart from with a few notable exceptions. Now I'm beginning to think who's. I guarantee it'll be one of Anthony Taylor or Michael Oliver will referee the game on Sunday. And I hope it is, because I don't want to get one of these new boys thrown in the deep end of a North London derby, or else we could have another Calamity Jane like we had last Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, standards are poor.
Yeah. And for you, Colin, do you think the refereeing standards are poor this year, or have they been dropping consistently over seasons?
No, I think they've been dropping more so since VAR's come in, to be honest with you, because the referees, I think, they've got a get out of jail free card with VAR. If they make a bad call or something, VAR can go, well, that was wrong, and then they're going to review it. If there's a decision that they're not sure about, VAR review it, and then they can deflect the blame. The referees can deflect the blame, because it's like, well, I got told by VAR it was this. So I think it's made them very lazy, in all fairness.
Do you think it's more like a get out free jail card for them, for the referees?
100%. 100%. If we're looking back in 90s, early 2000s, when a referee made a bad decision, he couldn't hide.
No.
Now he's got VAR to hide behind.
Yeah, that's so true. Greg Sanders said, why don't you just call it the Big Dermodrome? I like that. I like that. I actually do. I like that. There you go. That's my, yeah, there you go. We're all going to the Big Dermodrome. There you go. Greg Selnick, you got it. Listen, I've actually been told on the naming rights, guys, that the naming rights are still 3 to 4 months away, apparently.
Right.
So in the next 3 to 4 months, we could get naming rights at Tottenham Hotspur.
Does that mean somebody's actually come up with a figure the Levy will accept?
Well, nobody as yet has come up with to match Levy's price, but there is something in the works. Now, it could be, you could probably pluck names out there, Google or Amazon or wherever. But for me, it is what I've been told. I've asked the question, it's 3 to 4 months away. So we could be looking around probably Christmas or early the new year. With the new thing.
Hopefully.
We've got Carl Simpson. That is what they said about the cockerel cock.
The old ones are the best, aren't
they? A bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got Big Up Tequila. He says Death Trap Dungeon, great book. Yeah. We've got Ian Ferguson here. Carl's saying Michael Oval 100% will ref the North London derby. The burdens should be, is there enough evidence to overturn the call on the field? This isn't difficult. Look, guys, you look at NFL, you look at rugby. Philip, we've done a rugby watch along for the last couple of weekends, and we can hear what the conversation is between the TMO people and the referee. Now, I've already asked this question to Colin, so I want to really twist it on its head a little bit. Should it be just done for television, or should it be done for the whole stadium?
Oh, now that's a good question. I don't think you'll get away with doing it for the whole stadium in rugby. I don't think you get away with it in football somehow. I think it could cause more problems than it solves. Doing it on TV or doing it over the live broadcast, I think that's okay, because the people aren't at the ground to cause trouble. But I think I'd love to. Like, you watch the rugby VAR or TMO, whatever they call it, and even when the referees make up his mind, he discusses it with the linesman who's closest to the incident. And do you agree with that? Yes. So the two of them agree that it's the right decision. But they could even do that in football. Bring in the linesman that's close enough. I'm going to send this guy off. Is that the right decision? Linesman, yes, it is. Red card, where you go. That's it. You got two heads are better than one. But I don't know will it ever come in. And if it does come in, it certainly won't be to the stadium, because if that goes against the home crowd, you're 50,000 people baying down the referee's neck for the rest of the game, and it's going to get tricky. So, rugby fans are different. They don't seem to react as badly as the soccer ones do.
I don't know. Tequila says I prefer refs just to have go to Mayfair. We've got it's called it'll be called the Tavistock Group Stadium.
Tavistock Group Stadium.
God.
No.
We've got Neil Shafton says Jiffy Stadium. Put a Jiffy on that big cockerel.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, very funny. That's a good one. I like that one. Colin Turner for me, the Bill Nicholson Stadium. That's for me. That's what it should
Yeah,
be.
but chances are it won't be, but that's one we'd all like to see. There should at least be a Bill Nicholson stand. At least a Bill Nicholson stand.
And we've got Ian Ferguson. Don't worry, the NFL stand still finds a way to especially screw things up. There is a reason the NFL forced Budweiser to switch to plastic beer bottles from glass. The refs. There you go.
With the throwing things down on the pitch. Probably that's what it was for. Like a glass bottle coming down on the pitch and it'll be a bit heavier than the plastic.
The Keeler says you've got Renez, Romero, Hensworth. Am I missing anyone, Mia? Oh, Mia says,
the extension's been built.
Do you want to read this one out?
I don't know if I can or not. Well, the Durex Stadium to protect the cockerel. Yes, Mia.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Durex
special. That's a watershed one. That's a 9 o'clock plus.
But I tell you one thing. That for me is comment of the stream. I'm going to give that comment of the stream. That is a good one. And
it is actually
the Durex one. Oh, what's she expecting the stadium to get pregnant or something? Is she expecting the Emirates to pop down the high road to give it one? Mia, you see, you've started to go down this road now. It's no good. Save me, Colin and Philip. Save me. The Nicholson Memorial Park. What do you reckon?
No, nice name, but again, I think whoever pays over 20 million is going to put their own name on, and not Bill Nicholson. That's what I'm saying. Like, but whenever whoever names the stadium, there should be a stand named after Bill Nicholson. You look at all the other clubs we've got. Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford. You've got Don Revie at Leeds. You've got numerous other ones. So Bill Nicholson deserves that much anyway.
What see, people are coming up with all these names, yeah, and I guarantee. Well, I can't guarantee because it might not, but it wouldn't surprise me if the stadium was just called the North London Stadium.
But you not think someone investing a huge amount of money is going to want advertisement out of it?
It depends who it is.
Yeah, well, that's true. But there's very few people at 20 million a year to throw around and not want their name associated to it, you know?
This chat's getting very naughty at the moment. Some of the comments coming in are quite funny. I got a bit. Carl Simpson says, "Me and no arriving early." We've got Tequila saying, "Ribbed for Levy's pleasure." We've got where is it now?
Carl is disgusted.
Carl might need to get Viagra involved.
Oh dear!
You can imagine, couldn't you, Philip? Mary saying to you, right, Philip, where are you off to this for? I'm off to the Viagra Stadium. She goes, where?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, what that'd be? Your stadium is the Durex Stadium, and then along the sideboards is Viagra, helping you get up.
Yeah.
You just see that flashing along sides.
Oh dear!
Oh dear! Oh Lord! Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh dear! It might give you a stiffy if you saw that.
Oh dear!
Oh dear! This show's completely gone down the path.
I think Carl Simpson's comment here now is probably the most ironic comment I've ever seen from him.
Yeah, I'm for one of the scuds.
Seeing as he calls half the comments in the first place, you know.
He calls it to begin with. Hang on. We've got Tequila said that sounds like something out of an PES game column where they have no license. Colin Turner says the only North London stadium. Yeah. We've got Greg Sonet says the Bill, Nick, and Arthur Rose stands. Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got Brian McGuire saying the stiff stadium. Oh dear. And Neil Shafton says, I forgot to tell you, Philip, my wife had a favourite cousin, Phil Brady, who sadly passed away years ago.
Oh,
He was a fireman in Chicago.
I'm sorry to hear that, Neil. Yeah, fireman
Yep.
Chicago. Yeah, right.
But the same name as you, Mr. Brady.
Same name as me. Yeah. I have
Yeah.
my wife actually has a cousin, first cousin who's a fireman in New York. He was a fireman. He's retired now, but he
Yeah.
was on duty the day of 9/11, but had to go to
Yeah.
a family event, so we swapped shifts. And the fellow that
Jesus.
he shot the Swiftly was killed.
Fuck.
So it's a very sad story,
Yeah, it is. We've got Colin Turner with football. We are playing the Viagra. With the football, we are playing the Viagra Stadium as well. Look
That is
again,
true.
didn't I?
Hang on, let
There-
Danny Levy ringing my other phone there now.
Yeah. And then we've got Tequila says, give a new meaning for everyone says big up, really, doesn't
Oh dear.
I have a really filthy mind, I've just realised.
Hello, YouTube. We'll probably promise we'll tone it down shortly now, as soon as we can calm Dermot down.
Greg Zenit says, welcome to the Viagra Stadium. We play hard.
Oh, yes.
And we've got Mia, you've got an awful lot. You've got an awful lot to answer for. You really do. We've got Mia says, come to the G-Reg Stadium.
Oh dear.
I tell you one thing, Philip, we do have the best people in the comments on YouTube. We really do. You
We
give them
do
an
actually, and I hope they come and visit us in prison when we get taken off.
you give them an inch, they take a feckin' mile.
Don't be saying, while we're talking about that, don't be saying give them an inch.
Hey, don't you start.
Yeah, we do apologise for any viewers
watching. We're very sorry to offend you.
We apologise on the Full-Time Sports Network, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. We're not normally like this.
We're not normally like this.
Do you know what? I had a show actually prepared, and it's just gone sideways. Carl Simpson says the only way.
Oh dear.
This has turned into an absolute. Okay. I got rid of Carl Simpson. The other way out is back out with reversing lights. Neil Shafton says, do you want to read this one out, Philip?
Preparation H Stadium, not the burning of the
Colin's actually thinking what
Preparation H is. Look it up. I'm not telling you.
No, Colin's just thinking, what the hell have I joined here?
I'm used to this by now.
I'll tell you
it's
what.
fine.
I think Mia's next comment is going to go down as the. Let's just say, Mia, you might live to regret making this one.
Where is it, Philip?
Keep going.
Oh, I see it. I'm not going to bring it up. Out of respect.
Go on.
All right. Mia says, I like at least 6 inches, to be honest.
She's on about a Subway sandwich.
Are you sure? Oh dear. He says, I'm on the train. Greg Selman says, I'm on the train laughing my ass off. Everyone around me thinks I'm a nut. We've got Dragon D Nuts. Big up pieces Viagra Stadium. We never stop.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. We've got Colin Turner says we're just to confirm when the stadium. Oh, I'm sorry. You and Colin have to take over for a minute. I'm sorry.
Anyway, me and our comments on it with Tequila 316 oi, and Carl Simpson is saying the inch is just the beginning. Now, I don't know quite what to make of this one. I'd like at least 6 inches, says Tequila. Only got a micro one, I'm afraid. Oh no, too much information, Tequila. Too much information, definitely. Daniel Sandoval says, "Big up, one love, go on, you Spurs."
Oh,
That's the
Lord.
most sensible post I've had in a while. And Tequila saying, "Not even 5 p.m. here." Yeah, true. Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
God. I swear to God, Brian says we're visiting in prison. If you do that.
Hard time.
Oh, Lord. Oh, dear.
Oh, lovely. I hope there's no
Oh, dear.
alcohol in that, Dennis.
No, there isn't. I wish there fucking was. I just want to see, have I missed anything? I'll still for me. Where is it?
You know what we should do
That-
sometime for
do you
one
know
of the
what?
night matches?
That for me.
We should do
Yeah, go on.
we should do an X-rated commentary on the games. You know, for
Oh,
at a night match.
yeah.
Really let go of our feelings about the match. That was frigging terrible. That was shagging
Yeah.
awful. You know, it'd be good fun. You know,
It would. Don't drop the soap in prison, as it really will be hard time. Oh, fuck me! Behave yourself. Honestly,
Oh,
she'd be.
lovely.
I tell you what, she'd be coming on here in a minute. Now she'd be getting on there. She'd be coming on here in a minute. Right.
Yeah,
Let's get back to Tottenham.
she'd have her nuns
Postecoglou
outfit
just,
on
just looking for a 6 inches.
Oh, dear,
All
dear.
right. Postecoglou just wanted Spurs. Postecoglou just what Spurs fans need, and this is what he said, Philip. When asked in a club interview whether the fans needed to temper their expectations, he responded quickly, "No, no, 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 no. Let them go. Let them go and enjoy it. My role is not to burst people's bubbles. Let them get excited. Let them get ahead of themselves. That's the beauty of being a supporter. They go through enough pain, mate. You want to let them enjoy it. If they think we're going to be well beaters, then great. That's up to us to match their expectations. Our supporters deserve to have some happiness and enjoy it in any way they want to." Philip, what a breath of fresh air! I love this man. If you couldn't love this man more,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? You couldn't love him. You find another. You can go an extra mile and love this man more, because that's just right up my alley.
Like, I've seen comments from fans of other clubs even saying what a breath of fresh air he is, you know, to the whole Premiership, not just the Spurs. But my God, when you compare that to the riddles that Conte used to talk in,
Yeah,
I mean, you'd be sitting and watching, and what the hell is he talking about? And you couldn't. It'd take you 3 or 4 hours to decipher what he was saying. And says exactly what it is. He says what we want to hear. And I'm also, I've just said to you at the start, Dermot, if anyone can just look up Chris Cowland's video on YouTube that was taken after the match on Saturday. Now, Chris took it from just behind the players' tunnel, and it showed Ange walking off near the end as the South Stand is singing the Robbie Williams version, you know, Ange song, and he's like that to the crowd. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've never known a manager to win over a crowd as quickly as Ange has done with Spurs. It's incredible. You know what he's done in the space of 2 months. Literally 2 months is all he's with us. And it's an amazing guy. Long may it continue.
Yeah. Colin, look, you look at Ten Hag, right? And you look at Ange. I know you keep saying, "Oh, I'll take Ten Hag any day over Ange." But are you looking at Spurs and thinking, "Do you know what? I wish my manager had a little bit of what Ange has got"?
No. Honestly, no, because let's not forget. No disrespect to Spurs or Ange or anybody, it's still a honeymoon period at Tottenham. You're still in your honeymoon period with Ange. Now, I'm not saying it's obviously that's what's affecting the results or anything like that, because Ange's got your team playing fantastically well. But it's when it starts getting harder. Ange hasn't really had anything thrown at him yet, in the Premier League. When it starts getting difficult, when injuries start coming in constantly and there's bigger issues going off as well, that'll then define how good Ange is. Right, like I said, I'll constantly back Ten Hag until I physically can't do it anymore, because he is my manager. I wanted him, and I'm not going to go back on that. But For Tottenham, Ange is absolutely a breath of fresh air, and for the Premier League is as well. He's bringing something that we haven't seen for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know something
Philip?
as well? I
Yeah.
just noticed one thing about what was I going to say there? And he's also warned us there will be bumps in the road. There will be bumps in the road, and he told us they're coming. And I think when they come, we'll be ready for them. We'll not be so disappointed as we have been maybe in the past. So I'm expecting us to lose a few games. That's going to happen, but it's not going to it's not going to dissolve the feeling that I've got for, and all the fans have got for Ange at the moment. No. Anyway, as long as he keeps playing the way we're playing.
We've got Greg saying that says THFC too hot for TV stream would be hilarious. Good idea, Philip. Look, Philip, how many times have we said we wanted to do an over 18 show with Mia on it?
Yeah,
we have said that will be coming. It will be coming. Don't worry about that. That is going to be put into the works. If not, I'll probably ring up Mia after this. We'll get together. We'll put that. It'd be a podcast, but it'd be an over 18s podcast, and anything's gonna fly. So, and Colin might be involved in that as well. Who knows? We've got Val Taylor here saying, "All right, guys, you're on a high now. Careful, you'll be limping soon." Yeah, just keep taking the Viagra. You'll be grand. Can I get a GoFundMe to help Tequila to get support for his micro penis?
GoFundMe. Oh, lovely.
We've got Neil Shafton. If she can't find it, then maybe they need Manscaped first. Manscaped, Manscaped, if you are watching, we are looking for a sponsor, so please come and sponsor us. We'd be happy to do the Manscaped adverts for you. We've got Flat Cat Pete. Come on, Philip. The hold hand. Don't know what he means by that. We've got the kid. I got to get what they call the what's that?
Prosthesis.
Oh, Jesus.
A false one.
Yeah. Anyway, Brian McGrath says, Big Ange is showing what we've been looking for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've got Colin Turner says, Ange is down to earth, honest, and his football philosophy is admirable. It is. Neil Shafton, there is a lot of hate right now because of the joy Spurs are displaying. They don't understand what we've been through. And we when we start to lose, then the excitement will down a bit. Football.
Yeah.
And it's right,
point.
Philip.
Yeah.
It is
point. Absolutely. Spot on.
We've got Big Ange by Daniel Field. Big up Daniel Field. Big Ange, he says. And he says, Fat Cat Pete says, you have to give Mia the red card, Philip.
I wouldn't dare give Mia the red card. I wouldn't dare.
No.
I value my life too much.
I tell you, if you said that, she'd be on this screen within 2 seconds saying, oi. She would. I won't. Mia, one thing with Mia, she could pop on it. Couldn't she, Colin? She could pop on at any time. On any stream.
She hasn't come on yet.
She might be here without us even knowing.
Yeah, she could be. Mia, if you're watching and you want to come on, you can pop on for 5 minutes. Go on, we'll give you permission. Channel's still on after 10 p.m. Yeah, we might do
10 p.m. somewhere anyway. It's 10 p.m. somewhere in Asia, so we'll class that as been after 10 p.m.
We might do a charity thing or something, Philip. We might actually do something along them lines. Actually,
yeah.
Do you know? We'll put something together. We definitely will. Daniel Field, Colin Turner, absolutely. That's just silly. Tequila, if you give me a red card, she will go to DiCanio on your ass. Yeah. And Mia goes, yeah, damn right. Carl is saying Ange and Spurs are a match made in heaven. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
we've got Brian Maguire. Channel stiff after 10 p.m. Oh, dear. Danny Phil, big up Dermot Phil and all. Right, Philip, Mr. Levy. He's been quite busy in the last few days. Bless him. He might be using the Viagra after Saturday night as well. After the match on Saturday, the way his missus was looking at him. Didn't know, she was saying, yeah, you're in for a bit of fun tonight, lad. Or he's saying the same to her. He wrote, Philip, because I had this meeting, didn't they? Do you want to explain to people what this was? I sent you article as well, so hopefully you I know you read it as much as I did.
It was a meeting with the support, wasn't it? It was kind of a meeting with the support and representatives of the supporters. And it's the second time it's happened, apparently. And he came out with some very interesting stuff. Now, I'll read this bit out here. It says, N17, it's more than just a place. It's where we dare, it's where we do, all of us as one. It's home to our history, our heritage, and our past. But it's where we focus on the present and the future, too, because today is the day when we build the foundations for tomorrow. Foundations that will change lives. For generations, foundations that create extraordinary experiences, memories to cherish forever, and moments which bond us together. It's where we unleash our creativity and welcome the world to our culture, to our community, where rich diversity shines with pride and purpose, because we all rise when we lift others. Dream, dare, do together. Now, very admirable words. They weren't off the cuff. They were well rehearsed. You'd be sure of that. But he's saying what we like to hear there. I mean, it's like, for all to say about Daniel Levy, he does have a big heart in the club. He might know he's made the right decisions, and we know he doesn't. But I think the next slide that's going to come up will show that Daniel Levy maybe has backed the club more than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I just need, so Levy explained that significant investment has been made building off the future, both on and off the pitch. Club revenues were only those that the club operations generated. Now, there's a lot of waffle here. Of course, there is a lot of waffle, and there's still more waffle. Now, this bit.
This is the bit now. This is it.
I want to get Colin on this as well, Philip. So, do you want to take over this part of the show? All right, I'll let you take. I'll put you in the captain's chair. I'll go down to here, and let you go. And sort of, you know more about figures than I do, so I'll let you take the show from here.
Well, the top part would show 2018-19. That's the season that we opened up the stadium in April 2019. Spurs have spent 847.5 million, with a net spend of 605 million, which means we spent 847 and we got an income, if you like, of from various sources of 242 million, right? Then the next, going to last season, Spurs spent 195 million. Okay, take it. There's no club. There's no expenditure on the stadium. That's why the figure is so much lower than 19. We spent 195 million and we recouped 46 million, meaning a net spend of 148 million. So to say that Levy hasn't spent money on the team or on the club is not totally right. I mean, you can see that that's huge. That's a huge amount of money to spend. Now, this bit here, so far this season, this is Collicott. I think he's the financial guy in the Spurs thing. 253 million has been spent, with 95 million recouped, and that's probably part of Harry Kane's, or the upfront part of Harry Kane's fee. So for this season alone, and we're only in September, we spent 158 million. Not to be sniffed at. I'd love to see how that compares. Colin, do you have any idea what how Manchester United figures would compare with that type of spending?
Oh God, I know United have been spending quite a lot of money, to be honest with you.
I know it's unfair to hit you with a figure, but like percentage-wise, I mean, those figures seem fairly high to you. I'd say they're probably in the top 5 of the spend of all the Premiership clubs.
Yeah, they're definitely within the top 5. I think Newcastle has spent more, City have spent more, Arsenal and Man United. I think they're the only 4 clubs that have probably spent. Oh, well, yeah, sorry, Chelsea, yeah.
I spent more than the rest
Chelsea
put together.
I only talk about actual football teams, you see. So,
that's can
I just ask you a question, right? That's come to my mind, and I'll go to you first, Colin, and then you, Philip. People, I did put a question here, and I did ask the question, and where is it? Here we go. Is it wrong to say Levy has not backed managers? Now, he has spent the money. We can see that. But has it been spent badly, or has he just keep backing the wrong manager? And I'll start with you in that column, and then I go to you, Philip.
Yeah, I think he has backed managers. Maybe the players that the managers have wanted weren't the right fit. Maybe that's what the issue was. Obviously, you can see all these figures for how much he's actually spending. So it's very difficult to say that he hasn't put money into the club at all. But it seems to be this year, especially, seems to be he's got the right manager. and he's got the right players this time. It's not spending stupid money on, some, I don't know, Argentinian central defensive midfielder that has played well in some lower tier leagues but isn't good enough. But you got him because the manager wants him. Obviously, he has to back his manager. But yeah, I think the structure of it now is a lot better.
I just want to go through some of the comments here, Philip. That we've got a comment here. We've got Tequila saying Dermo backing the manager means more than money. Example, how many of the signings we wanted or not by the manager? And he says you need to define what you mean by backing first. I mean, what I mean by backing is he's bought players. They've spent money where, okay, there may not have been the right money. There may not have been the right players, or maybe Steve Hitchen, who was given the money to buy. Look at Dombele. We paid, 60 million for him, Philip? And he was turned out to be a waste of money. You look at Paratici, who's probably been a bit more frugal with the spending, would you say, than Hitchen? But he's bought better players. So, look, the managers have been backed, but what I mean by that is they've been backed, but the managers probably haven't been backed with the right players. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the manager has maybe not had ultimate choice or the ultimate say in who the players. He's bought players for the club, not for the manager. Whereas now, I think there's been a complete sea change on that now. Scott Munn is due to take up his post any minute now, right? He will more or less relieve Daniel Levy of the duties that Daniel Levy's been doing up to now, i.e. in the transfer market. So I think we've seen this summer, the players that have come in have met, and I'm not saying they've all been Angie's choice, but they mainly have been Angie's choice. And that's where we have to keep that at. We have to make sure that the players that are coming in are the ones the manager wants, not the ones the chairman wants. Because if the manager knows what he wants in the team, with all due respect to the chairman, who's not a football manager. And I think this is coming, and Scott Munn hopefully is on the same wavelength as Ange. And between the two of them, that we got rid of a fair bit of the deadwood this summer. We didn't get rid of it all. We got rid of some of it. That will continue in January, I think. And I think that's when we'll see how good Scott Munn is at his job. So the answer to the question is that the managers have been backed. Now, they haven't always been the right managers. In hindsight, Mourinho, Nuno, and Conte were a mistake. But who would have thought that when you were bringing them in? You would have thought, this is great. Didn't work out, unfortunately. Now it appears we have the right manager.
How many times would you say when we were talking to Conte looking for a manager, we got Nuno, Philip, and me was saying, oh, fuck me, we've got Conte here now. Brilliant, come on, let's go. We're going to win stuff now.
We all thought that. But it turns out Conte thought he was doing the club a favour, and that never worked.
Neil, Colin, this one's for you. It says, Colin, the LA Kings are in Sydney, Melbourne right now, getting ready to play pre-season hockey down under.
Getting more money for the trip, I suppose.
I think Colin
big bucks. The fans are going into it.
I think Colin was passed out due to.
I've got no idea what he's on about. I don't watch NFL. Not really. NHL, sorry. I don't really watch it.
Neil Shafton says Levy's tone deaf socially, and I think these fans meetings are just a bunch of softball questions, and real hard questions will be ignored. I may be wrong, but he's socially inept. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. I've never been to one of his meetings, so I don't really know. All I will say is Levy knows. He knows he has making up to do to the fans for what's happened in the past. And everybody, I'll allow everybody to change and become a better person. Maybe this is what he's doing now. Maybe Ange will make him a better person, a more upfront and a more honest person with the fans. Time will tell. But I think with Scott Munn coming in, moving Levy to one side on the footballing side of things might be a big advantage for us.
Neil Shafton says the problem is how much he's spending or overspending on players that don't perform. At least it's not a billion like Chelsea, where they've got 12 wins during that first billion.
Yeah.
And Colin,
Chelsea a joke.
He is right here saying that, isn't he, Colin, about that?
Well, I mean, every club overspends, because sometimes you have to overspend to get the players in. This is the issue. I mean, Jesus. Sorry to bring it back to Manchester United, but we overspent on Anthony. We overspent on Casemiro. We've overspent on Højlund. The list goes on and on and on. And the reason why clubs are making other clubs overspend, such as Tottenham or Man United, because we are big clubs and we have the money to do so. Yeah. They know we've got the money. As soon as Harry Kane left, clubs have put their prices up anyway because they know you've got the money. It's just the way the world is now.
It is. Look, we've got Neil Shapson says the payouts that have resulted in managers' issues is also a problem. You can keep killing a manager every 12 to 18 months and then have to continue paying them in compensation. How many times have we sacked managers, Philip, and still paying them? I think we're still paying Nuno, I think, somewhere along the line, aren't we?
Yeah, probably are. It was probably done on the drip like most things. So we're paying three of them, Mourinho, Nuno, and Conte. It's crazy, but each of them came in with big ideas, and we thought they were okay. I think we thought Mourinho was the man. Nuno we weren't quite so sure of, and certainly Conte we thought he was the man. None of them worked out, and that's why we have to hope that Ange keeps doing what he's doing and doesn't fall foul to what happened to those other guys.
We've got Paul Powell say, hi, can I ask the panel what the thoughts of Tim Sherwood's comments that one Tottenham player would get in the Arsenal? I think
not one Tottenham player.
Tim Sherwood can go and wash his mouth out with dirty water and go and stick his head in the toilet somewhere.
Yeah, Tim Sherwood still sour that we sacked him back in 2013. So, Tim, you're supposed to be an ex-Spurs player. Come on.
Tim Sherwood has made this comment to make himself relevant again, because what has he been doing for the God knows how long?
Yeah,
nothing.
Although I have to say, he was quite complimentary about Spurs on Saturday, and I was quite amazed because normally he's very negative on them. He did say they played well; they should have won by more, and this and the other. But to come out with a comment like that, I mean, that's an insult. He knows the North London derby's coming up. I mean, if I was Ange, I'd say I'd hang that comment on the dressing room wall at Spurs. Right, lads, that's what an ex-player thinks of you. Go and prove me wrong, or go and prove him wrong.
That's what Fergie would have done, and I think you would have confirmed that, wouldn't you, Colin? Fergie would do something like that.
Fergie had put the thing up, and he dragged the guy in as well who said it, and make him say it to the whole team in front of him, I think. And then after he did that, he probably would have clapped him around back at head and threw him out of the stadium.
Oh, dear. Carl Simpson says, I've got to go, guys. Amazing stream as usual. Thank you so much. Yeah, it did go a bit sideways, I must admit. Daniel feels the Colin Turner. Maybe give the manager the bullet right before cup finals is a little bit absurd. We've got true. Colin Turner saying, Daniel, a group of senior players told Levy before the final they would not play for him. He goes that straight from... Do you want to read that one out, Philip? Sorry.
Yeah, Daniel, a group of senior players told Levy before the final they would not play for him, Mourinho, obviously. He goes that straight from the horse's mouth. So, I mean, he sacked on a Tuesday with a match on the Sunday. I mean, it was unheard of to sack a manager that close to it. But things must have been pretty serious whenever it got to that. Whether that comment is true about what the players actually doing, or there's something drastically wrong. And but it probably cost us a cup.
I know.
Probably cost a cup.
And see, that's for me where Levy should have said, hang on a minute, I'm the chairman. I make the decisions, not you. So either play for him or don't play for him. He's in charge for the game on Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah. That's it.
Neil Shafton says, this one's for you, Colin. Man United Football Club have qualified fit 2 squads. We have 11. Do you want to? Sorry, Philip. My reading is going to be
Man United have a quality fit 2 squads. We have 11 players, and even the cheaper players we try to deal away aren't attractive enough to other teams. It's a comedy of errors. Not all Levy, but it needs fixing. Neil, we have far more than 11 players. I'm sorry, I can't agree with you there. We have got far more than 11 players.
Yeah, I won't agree with this either. In all fairness, I think Tottenham's squad is probably better quality than Manchester United's at the minute.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really would. I think
we've got cover in most positions. Okay, the centre back we're a bit slight in, but we've got Royal and Porro. We've got over in the left, we've got Doji and Davies, and we've also got Sessegnon and Perisic if needed. We've got Basu, we've got Benson Court to come back in. We've got Oliver Skip. You know, we've got our front line at the moment it's getting a frightening look about it with Solomon, Kulichevsky, Son, Johnson now joining it, and Richarlison. So you know, I think we're not as bad as a lot of people make us out to be. In fact, we're an awful lot better than a lot of people realize.
He does make a very good comment. I'll get back to Carlson Simpson's comment in a minute. He said, yeah, he said today, yes, but our bench squad couldn't beat Fulham. He does make a point.
Fair enough. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I'm not arguing with that. But like then again, you play that match again with the same players, and we probably win it. It's just one of those games didn't go right for us.
Yeah. We've got Carlson, Tim Sherwood is still dining off giving Harry Kane a chance. He is irreverent. I don't know how he is even a pundit. I mean, exactly. He did that podcast with Simon Jordan, and I was on my way up to Dublin to an Ireland game, and I watched it on the train, and it was like the longest hour of my life. It was boring.
Turned over.
I couldn't because it was. I just want to know what else he was going to say. A real test starts Sunday and we'll pass it. Of course, we will. Valve. Connor Turner says that's true. Paul Pavlita, you have a Man United fan on blog. Still remember Georgie Best playing at old White Hart Lane. What a player!
Oh Philip, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
I mean, Colin, look, go on, Philip, go on.
So I never saw George Best play, unfortunately, but my God, what a player! Unbelievable, you know. United were lucky to have him, Colin.
Colin, look, they always said Ryan Giggs was the new George Best. Looking back on Georgie Best and Ryan Giggs, was there similarities between the two, or do you think George Best was just head and shoulders above anything United have? And then we are going to finish this off soon.
I mean, unfortunately, I didn't get to see George Best play. I would have loved to have seen him. I've seen little things that have clips and stuff. And Ryan Giggs was, when I was growing up, was actually my favourite player of Manchester United until the day he retired. I think Georgie Best, I can't compare Giggs to Georgie Best because Georgie Best was just outstanding for United, you know. And Philip's right, we were so lucky to have a player of that quality in our side. Giggs was amazing. He was fantastic. But Georgie Best, I don't think we'll ever see a player like Georgie Best again.
I want to ask this question, though, to you, Philip. They won the European Cup in '68. George Best always said United never rebuilt after that. They felt that they reached the summit of winning the European Cup, and that was enough for Matt Busby. Do you feel that United missed the trick of building a side around Georgie Best?
George Best, for all his brilliance on the field, was a bit of a maverick off it, and that he was kind of the first of the playboy footballers, if you like. I know there's a guy called Frank Worthington was around the same time, who was also reputed to be wouldn't know what direction he'd come to work at in the morning, you know. So he was another a lesser talented George Best. Now I think, Colin, you can probably correct me here. Did Matt Busby kind of stepped to one side after the '68 final, didn't he? And they brought was it Franco Farrell?
Franco Farrell.
They brought in. So I think that's where they missed the trick by Busby not being there. It's a bit like Bill Nicholson leaving Spurs. Took us a while to get going again, you know. So maybe that's the story. I don't know.
And I think United, Philip. Sorry, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Philip.
No, go on.
No, what are you going to say, Philip? Sorry.
No, I finished.
No, what are you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I finished.
Okay. Do you feel, Philip, it's like when Fergie left, they're going through the same circle again?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. I mean, how do you replace the irreplaceable? Really, when you think about it. I mean, Alex Ferguson was unique. You'll never have a more successful manager for any club than Alex Ferguson. I don't think, not in England. Anyway. Yeah. So it's difficult, and anybody that comes is going to be compared to Ferguson. And that's never easy, you know. So, and a few of them have tried since, and none of them have really got there. Maybe Ten Hag will, but it'll take them a bit longer.
Yeah, and is it like when Bill Nick left? Bill Nick was unique.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at least United tried to replace him with a decent manager. Look what we replaced Bill Nick with. Terry Neal.
Yeah, no, Agent Neil. Look what he did. Colin Turner says Georgie Best, the greatest player I've ever seen. Neil Shafton says I think Maradona is above Best. Now there's a podcast in itself.
There's an argument you could have, yeah.
Yeah. He was that good hungover. Imagine if he had not been addicted to booze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember back in those days, players got away with an awful lot more than they would now. You know, George Best would never survive in today's climate of strictly regimented, staying with the team the night before a match and stuff like that, you know.
Daniel Field says Cruyff. There's another genius of a player. Johan Cruyff. And Romero would have thrived with the physical play of the 70s and 80s. He would have done.
He'd thrive anywhere.
Yeah. But anyway, listen, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you all for watching. It's been a great show. Electric Spurs are back, Philip. We are back.
Yeah.
So listen, before we give a chance to Colin to plug his channel where people can find him, and Colin, if you can give us your link for your channel, I'd be very grateful, and I'll put it in there. Philip, we've got a few things coming up this week, haven't we, for the North London Derby? We've got a few pre-records and a few shows. So what we've got coming up this week?
There'll be a lot of stuff, but the North London Derby is going to become central of attention now for the next few days. We're going to be building it up from tomorrow, I think, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really building it up into for the watch along on Sunday, which is going to be interesting because there's going to be Arsenal fans watching it with us. So that's going to be a first, and that's going to be very, very interesting. And I wonder who'll be smiling at the end of it. And but watch out, there'll be a lot of content coming, mainly on the North London Derby, as I said, a history of it, maybe showing an odd match or two, and hoping that we can keep our momentum going against the old enemy on Sunday.
Yeah, and then Colin, we got a pre-record, haven't we, Philip? That we're going to do the history on the North London Derby. And also the podcast this Friday is myself, Philip, and Dave Harris from the Arch Hotspur, and it's really basically what does the North London Derby mean to us Spurs fans? That's what it means, and it's going to be going to go through. Also in that podcast, Philip's going to name me his 3 best Spurs Arsenal games, myself and Dave as well, and we also got one for Mr. Harris himself, Dave Starr. He's going to come up with one for himself. So we look forward to that on Friday. Now, Colin, we know we're partnered with your course on the Full-Time Sports Network, and it's a pleasure and an honor to do that. But where can people find you? Want to hear more from you, sir?
Yeah, if you like the sound of my glorious voice, you can find me over on that link just there, where we do cover all sports. You can also find me on Twitter. And I'm also going to be joining, I believe, you guys. Is it Bobby you with?
Yeah.
For the game? Yeah, I'm going to be in there as well, watching the game with you. So while you guys are stressing...
You can referee, you can referee it.
No, I'm going to the shop, I'm grabbing popcorn, and I'm just going to sit back and relax and just watch mayhem ensue.
Yeah. Well, you know how me and Bobby were going at it with each other, to be fair.
Exactly. I'm just going to throw digs at both of you, so it's all right.
We had this meeting the other morning, Philip, and let's put it this way: it was 5 minutes of business. Then the next hour and a half was more just insults between myself and Bobby about Tottenham and Arsenal. And then we did gang up. We did gang up on Man United as well. But I'm still proud of the Audi Cup. Maybe you're not, but we are. On that, listen, and also Philip. On that, listen, just want to say we always finish off with Fred. So, Philip, what is Fred up to today?
Oh, what is Fred up to today? That's a tough one. Let me see. It's Peter Banks when he's told he's assigned an under-10 schools boys game next weekend.
I am sorry, I can never get older watching that. I really can. But thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, the subscription button. We are back tomorrow, of course, at 4. Me and Philip. Philip on a Tuesday, I'm hearing. I know everyone's in shock and awe, but he is with me on Tuesday. We are off Wednesday, but don't worry, Wednesday, guys, we'll have some pre-recorded stuff popping up Wednesday. But whatever you do, come on, you Spurs.
Come on,
In
you
Big
Spurs.
Ange we trust.